The family story is our story. Like it or not, it resides within us. Regardless of the story we have about our ancestors, we cannot erase them from our existence. They're in us and we're part of them, even if we've never met them, or even if we've never crossed paths with them. The history shared with family begins before conception, with 3 generations sharing the same biological environment. Your grandmother was carrying in her womb your mother, while you were just an egg in her. Let me show you the inside of my family tree. All of what you see here is all my ancestors, and we're all connected. All of their fears, experiences, traumas, everything they went through. All of that is passed to next generations and somehow becomes part of us. However, many aspects can influence how deeply rooted family traumas remain. Often unable to identify symptoms of our suffering, we assume that the source of the problem is our own life experience, but we couldn't be further from the truth. In fact, we may subconsciously fear something that has never happened to us, but might have happened to our ancestors. In some cases, we may even repeat the fate of an earlier generations by repeating their history and reliving aspects of their suffering. Whether alive or not, close or distant, our parents and ancestors hold the key to our healing. Without uncovering triggering events, we risk reliving unconscious fragments of trauma. Identifying the roots of generational traumas provides a chance for healing. Rejecting our family ties only distances us further from ourselves, intensify our suffering, and block us from experiencing the fullness of our lives. A genogram is a visual representation of a family tree. It is one of 2 ways to get to your core trauma. Looking back 3 or 4 generations in your family, create a diagram that includes your parents, grandparents, great-grandparents, siblings, uncles, and aunts. Next to each family member, write down the significant traumas and difficult fates that person experienced. Whatever you know should be enough. Ask yourself questions. Who died early? Who left? Who was abandoned or isolated or excluded from the family? Who died in childbirth? Who committed suicide? Who committed a crime? Who experienced a significant trauma? Who was forgotten? Who was murdered? Who murdered someone? Who felt responsible for someone's death or misfortune? You already know about core complaint, core description. Now think about core sentence. Who could it belong to? At the top of your genogram, write it down.